Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. What if I told you that the secret to achieving everything you want isn't just about setting bigger goals or pushing yourself harder? What if the real key to success lies in something far deeper? It's not just about checking off boxes on a to-do list. It's about the person you become in the process. So before you get lost in the rush of reaching your next goal, consider this. What if the true path to success starts with making time for growth, not just goals? When you focus on growth, the right goals will follow naturally, and the success you achieve will be sustainable and fulfilling. Let's dive into why growth should be your foundation, not just a stepping stone to the next achievement. You don't achieve lasting success by simply working harder at your job. You achieve it by working harder on yourself. If you only make time for goals, burnout is inevitable. But if you make time for genuine, meaningful personal growth, the goals begin to chase you. In this video, I'm going to explain why becoming the right kind of person matters more than any goal you achieve, why your schedule needs space for development, not just deadlines, and how you can finally escape the trap of staying busy without truly improving. Stick with me, because by the end of this message, you won't just think differently about success, you'll begin living like someone who genuinely earns it. Let's talk about the trap of focusing solely on outcomes. Don't just chase the reward, become the person who's worthy of it. I want to start with something that may resonate. Today, many people are fixated on results. They're chasing the money, the promotions, the recognition, the end achievements. And I get it. I wanted those things too. But here's what I discovered, and I hope you'll hold on to this. You can reach a goal and still feel empty. You can climb to the top and still feel low. You can succeed on the outside and still feel broken on the inside. Why does this happen? Because we've been taught to chase results, but no one taught us how to grow into the kind of person who's truly ready for them. That's what I call the trap of outcome obsession. It may look like success from the outside, but it leaves you feeling hollow inside. Let's explore this. We live in a world that celebrates winners, celebrating finish lines, trophies, gold medals, paychecks, and snapshots at the top of the mountain. And I'm not saying these things are bad. In fact, I believe in setting big goals and striving for achievement. But here's a truth many overlook. It's not the outcome that makes you valuable. It's who you become along the journey to earn that outcome. Because if you skip the personal growth and somehow end up with a reward, you won't keep it for long, or worse, you'll have it, but it won't hold meaning. Think of it this way. The goal is the tool, but the becoming, that's the treasure. Here's something I've seen again and again. People say, once I hit that goal, I'll finally be happy. So they push, grind, and hustle, and one day they reach it. But what happens then? They feel satisfied for a moment, and then they wonder, what's next? Suddenly, they want more. 10,000 isn't enough. They want 20. The new car doesn't satisfy. They need a bigger one. The applause isn't loud enough. Now they want a standing ovation. And it never stops when you're fixated on the outcome. Enough is never truly enough. The goalposts keep shifting. You end up trapped by your own success. That's not ambition. That's dependence. And it's the reason people achieve their goals yet still feel lost. Here's the mindset shift I want you to embrace. Don't simply chase the goal. Focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally achieves that goal. Want to be a millionaire? Don't focus solely on the money. Focus on the qualities of the person who earns it. The discipline, the patience, the mindset. That's where your attention should be. Because here's the beauty of it. When you grow into that person, the money becomes a natural outcome. Even if you lose the money, the person you've become, that's yours to keep. That's true wealth. Far too many people measure their lives only by what they've accomplished. But a better question is, who are you becoming in the process? Every day, ask yourself, did I grow? Did I improve? Did I stay true to my values? Because achievements may come and go, but growth stays with you. It shapes who you are. It strengthens your character. You might not see the results today, but if you keep growing, one day you'll look back and realize you became someone you're genuinely proud of. And that's something no one can take away. So how do you break free from the trap? Start with this simple approach. Measure your day not just by what you did, but by who you became Don't just check off tasks. Check in with your character. Don't just set goals, set standards for the kind of person you're becoming. Because when you become disciplined, the goals follow. When you become focused, opportunities show up. When you become strong, success endures. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract. By becoming the right person, let me challenge you. Every time you set a goal, pause and ask, what kind of person achieves this? What would that version of me be like? How would they think, act, speak, lead, respond? Then start working not just on the goal, but on becoming that version of yourself. Because when you build the person, the goals naturally align. That's the secret many never hear. People chase the prize, but skip the preparation. They rush to the finish line, but ignore the foundation. Don't make that mistake. Make time for growth, not just goals. Goals might open the door, but growth keeps you standing inside. If you've been chasing outcomes, it's time to shift. Chase becoming, chase wisdom, chase strength of character, and the life you're hoping for will begin to chase you. Now let's move into the next part, where we'll explore why who you become matters more than anything you achieve. Who you become matters more than what you achieve. Success isn't something you acquire, it's something you grow into. Let me start with a core principle I learned early on. Don't ask, what am I getting? Ask, what am I becoming? That question changes everything. Most people spend their lives focused on results. They chase the car, the cash, the title, the trophy. And sure, those things are exciting. They shine, they get attention. But I'll tell you this, those things won't sustain you. What will sustain you is the person you become while pursuing them. Here's the truth. If you grow into the right kind of person, you can achieve everything else you want. But if you get what you want without growing into someone strong enough to handle it, you'll lose it. Or worse, you'll feel empty when you get it. Let me share a story. Years ago, I met a man who told me, I want to be a millionaire. I replied, that's great, but don't do it just for the money. He looked puzzled. I said again, do it for what it will make of you to achieve it. Because to become a millionaire, you must develop discipline. You must learn time management. You must grow in leadership, courage, wisdom, and patience. You must move beyond excuses and build meaningful habits. That's the real reward, not the $1 million, but the person you become in the process. People often ask, what's the best way to succeed? But that's the wrong first question. The better question is, who do I need to become to reach that level of success? Because success doesn't go to the person who simply wants it. It goes to the person who's prepared for it. If you want a better life, focus on building a better version of yourself. Your life will never rise above the level of the person leading it. You don't get the life you dream about, you get the life you're prepared for. Here's a powerful insight. You don't just work on your goals. You work on your goals feel natural. Think about it. When you become calm under pressure, focused while others are distracted, disciplined while others quit, responsible while others blame, you start attracting success. The goal reflects the inner person. It's not luck, it's character. But here's the danger. If you achieve without growing, you'll undermine your own success. We've all seen it. The athlete who made it big but wasn't mentally ready. The entrepreneur who got rich overnight but lost it all. The person who got the relationship, the promotion, the breakthrough, but couldn't sustain it. Why? Because they focused on achieving but skipped the development. You can fake results for a while, but you can't fake character. And in the end, it's character that carries the weight of achievement. Here's what I've learned. It's not the goal that changes your life. It's the person you must become to achieve it. Want to lead? Become someone others want to follow. Want financial freedom? Become someone who can manage and multiply resources. Want love, respect, trust, purpose? Become loving, respectful, trustworthy, and purposeful. External rewards mirror internal growth. So the real question isn't, what do I want to achieve? It's, who do I want to become? Ask that every day. Let it guide your choices. Let it shape your habits. Let it influence your relationships. Because as you grow, everything around you improves. You'll make better decisions. You'll attract better opportunities. You'll handle setbacks with grace. You'll lead with clarity. You'll live with integrity. And suddenly, success won't feel like a destination. It will feel like a reflection of who you are. Here's what I encourage you to do. Every time you write a goal, don't stop there. Underneath it, write, to achieve this, I must become, and fill in the blank. I must become more focused. I must become more generous. I must become more consistent. I must become more prepared, more intentional, more resilient. That's the real work. The achievement is just a shadow. The person you become, that's the substance. So today, stop chasing what you want. Start becoming what you need. Grow your mindset, grow your skills, grow your standards, grow your courage. Because in the end, it won't be what you achieve that makes you proud. It'll be who you became along the way. And the best part, no one can take that from you. Not the economy, not the critics, not the competition. That's yours for life. Now that we've laid the foundation that who you become is the real reward, let's move forward. In the next section, we'll talk about building a daily routine that prioritizes growth over busyness, depth over distraction, and progress over performance. Because success isn't found in the rush, it's found in the routine. Let's continue. Time management for personal growth. Don't spend major time on minor things. Here's a principle that changed my life. Time is more valuable than money. You can always make more money, but once a minute passes, it's gone forever. That's why managing your time isn't just about completing tasks, it's about becoming the person you're meant to be. Too many people stay busy without becoming anything. They rush from task to task, meeting to meeting, errand to errand. Their calendars are full, but their souls are empty. And here's the truth. Being busy doesn't mean you're growing. Growth only happens when you manage your time with intention. So what's the first step? You must decide that growth matters more than simply getting things done. Most people wake up and ask, what do I have to do today? But successful people wake up and ask, who do I want to become today? That shift from doing to becoming changes how you use every hour. Let's get practical. If you want to grow, you have to schedule time for it. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't show up while you're scrolling your phone or watching TV. It shows up when you intentionally plan for it, protect it, and treat it like it matters. Because it does. Here's a simple practice. Set appointments with yourself for growth. Yes, real appointments. Like meetings with a boss or client. But this time, the client is you. Block 30 minutes a day to read something that sharpens your mind. Set aside 15 minutes in the morning to journal or write down your goals. Spend 10 minutes before bed reflecting on what you've learned. Turn your commute into a classroom with audiobooks and podcasts. That's how you turn time into transformation. And here's something else. We live in a noisy world. Distractions are everywhere. Emails, notifications, social media, breaking news, endless alerts. If you don't protect your time, someone else will use it for you. So here's a rule I follow. Don't spend major time on minor things. Learn to say no. Say no to time wasters. Say no to endless scrolling. Say no to the things that entertain but don't educate. Safeguard your mornings, safeguard your evenings, turn off what doesn't contribute to your future, because if you're not mindful, the urgent will constantly replace the important. Before long, the day will slip away, along with your progress. Let me remind you of this. Growth doesn't thrive in chaos. Growth happens in routine. It's built in the quiet, consistent moments. It's shaped by repeated practices, intentional breaks, and focused effort. You don't need to do everything. You need to do the right things consistently. So ask yourself, is your calendar packed with activity or filled with intention? Are you setting aside time to think, to learn, to grow, or are you simply reacting to life rather than designing it? Here's the truth. If you don't design your day will end up shaping you. And that rarely leads anywhere good. Now let's talk about energy. Success isn't just about managing time. It's also about managing energy. You might have 2 hours available, but if you're exhausted, distracted, or frustrated, progress won't happen. Treat your energy like a limited resource. Get enough sleep, nourish your body, move regularly, and give your mind rest. That's not indulgence, it's preparation. And preparation drives performance. A tired mind struggles to grow. A scattered mind struggles to grow. A scattered schedule won't support discipline. Here's something to hold on to. The version of yourself you want to become will only develop if you create space for growth. You won't accidentally grow. You must carve out the time. It needs to be non-negotiable. Look at your calendar right now. Where is your growth time? Where are the moments you've set aside to step away from the noise and focus on development? If it's missing, put it there. Start small, but start today. Every day without growth is a day you can't reclaim. I'll end this chapter with a simple but powerful challenge. Stop scheduling your life only around tasks and to-do lists. Start scheduling it around the person you want to become. Make time to read, make time to reflect, make time to plan. Make time to challenge your thinking. Make time for stillness. Make time to learn from those wiser than you. That's how you start living intentionally. That's how you increase your value. That's how you create a future worth waking up to. Time is your most valuable resource. Use it not just to complete tasks, but to grow into someone you're proud of. Now let's move into the next chapter where we'll explore one of the greatest obstacles to growth, procrastination, and how to break free from it. Let's continue with the daily disciplines that shape your destiny. Success is simply a few key disciplines practiced daily. Let's talk about a word that has built empires, transformed lives, and shaped greatness. Discipline. Not talent, not luck, not big breakthroughs, discipline. And remember, discipline isn't punishment. It's not about restriction, it's about structure. It's about the freedom that structure makes possible. It's about designing your day so your future becomes inevitable. You see, most people wait for motivation, but those who succeed, they don't depend on feeling inspired. They depend on daily disciplines. Because discipline shows up even when you don't feel like it. It keeps you moving when everything around you tells you to stop. It shapes character, and character shapes everything else. Let me be direct. Your life today reflects the disciplines you practiced yesterday. And your future will be built on the disciplines you start practicing today. People often ask, what's the secret to success? I tell them it's not found in big leaps. It's in small, steady steps. Brushing your teeth once won't change your life, but do it daily for 20 years and the results are clear. Reading 10 pages of a great book won't change your life tonight, but read every day for a year and your thinking will shift. That's the compound power of discipline. Now let's talk about a few key disciplines that create meaningful results over time. The first is mastering your mornings. How you begin the day often influences how it ends. Don't start your day in reaction mode. Don't begin by checking your phone, jumping into chaos, or rushing out the door. Instead, create a calm moment, read something that strengthens your mind, write something that focuses your thoughts, move your body, set an intention. You don't need 2 hours. Even 15 minutes can shift your mindset if done intentionally. Next is the discipline of planning. Don't drift through your day, design it. Take 5 minutes in the morning or the night before to write down your top priorities. What matters most? What tasks move you closer to your goals, your growth, your values? Don't mistake activity for progress. Don't stay busy just to be busy. Be strategic, be clear, be focused, because the one who plans with intention lives with direction. Now let's discuss the discipline of learning. You must stay a student of life. Read valuable books. Listen to insightful thinkers. Ask deeper questions. Take notes, reflect regularly. The mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of wisdom daily, one day you'll wake up surrounded by fruit. But if you neglect it, weeds grow quickly. Confusion, doubt, laziness distract. Learning isn't optional. If you want to grow, it's necessary. The person who stops learning has already started declining. So make learning a discipline. 15 minutes a day, 10 pages a day, a single idea applied. That's often enough to gain an advantage. Another crucial discipline, follow through. This separates those who talk from those who do. Anyone can set a goal, anyone can make a list, but the discipline to follow through, that's rare. If you said you'd do it, do it. If you made a promise to yourself, keep it. Every time you follow through, your confidence grows. Every time you break your word to yourself, it weakens. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. You don't need to be extraordinary, you just need to be reliable, especially to yourself. Here's something important. Discipline isn't what you do once. Discipline is what you do every day, even when no one's watching. It's the food you choose, the words you speak, the thoughts you believe, the habits you repeat. These small choices shape your future because success doesn't happen suddenly. It happens gradually, then all at once. It's built in hidden moments, in quiet hours, in actions no one else sees, but you do them anyway. Here's the beauty of discipline. The more you practice it, the more it becomes your identity. At first, it feels hard. It takes effort. It feels unnatural. But over time, it becomes part of who you are. You don't just read books. You don't just go for runs. You become someone who values energy. You don't just plan your day. You become someone who lives with intention. That's how discipline transforms you from the inside out. Let me leave you with this. Don't wait for the big moment. Build the right habits, and the big moment will arrive. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. Every time you act in alignment with your goals, even in a small way, you cast a vote for the future you're building. So start now, start small, and keep going. Read a page, wake up 10 minutes earlier, choose a better meal, say no to a distraction, say yes to your priorities. One day you'll look back and realize your life was shaped by the small disciplines you kept when no one was watching. Daily discipline is destiny in disguise. Now let's move to the next chapter. Building unstoppable momentum to propel your growth forward, one powerful push at a time. When the goal changes, growth remains. The goal can shift, the market can change, the plan can fall apart. But the growth you gain through the process stays with you. The goal may be temporary, but growth is permanent. Life throws curveballs. Business plans crumble, career paths shift, relationships end, the economy flips, and suddenly the target you were chasing doesn't exist. If all you were chasing was the goal, that moment could break you. But if you were focused on growth, you'll bend but never break. The goal may fade, but growth stays with you. Let me share an example. A young man once dreamed of becoming a professional athlete. He trained relentlessly, sacrificed everything, but one injury ended his dream. However, instead of letting that destroy him, he shifted his focus and asked, what did I gain from the journey? The discipline, focus, work ethic, confidence, and resilience he developed became his foundation in a new career where he found even greater success. The real win wasn't the goal. It was the growth that stayed with him. So ask yourself, if what you're chasing disappears tomorrow, would you still be proud of who you became? Would you stand strong in the lessons you learned, the habits you built, and the mindset you sharpened? That's what lasts. Character, not trophies or titles. Growth is the only guarantee in an unpredictable world. Goals are important. They give direction, create urgency, and build purpose. But make your identity bigger than your achievements, because goals can expire, but the person you become through the pursuit lasts forever. Your discipline, wisdom, courage, and patience, those are the assets that you carry into every season of life. Sometimes life shifts the goal, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to show you that the real reward wasn't the outcome, but the becoming. Growth is never wasted. Even when the plan didn't work, the number wasn't hit, or you didn't cross the finish line. If you grew, you won. Growth compounds and follows you forward. Perhaps your business didn't succeed, but you learned how to communicate, lead, budget, and sell, skills that make you 10 times more valuable in your next venture. Work harder on yourself than on your job, because even if the job disappears, you remain the asset. When the goal changes, reflect, reset, and refocus on growth. Ask, what did I gain in this season? What did I learn? And take those lessons forward. Cling to your growth, your discipline, your values. Those are your foundation, not the goal. Goals aren't promises. They're pursuits meant to guide, stretch, and sometimes redirect you. But growth is a promise. If you stay consistent, humble, and committed, growth will always show up. And that means you're never starting from zero. You're starting from strength, experience, and wisdom. Build yourself first, because when the goal changes, the growth stays. And that's what carries you to the next level of life. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract. You don't need to hustle endlessly or outperform everyone. What matters most is, who are you becoming while you take that action? Success is attracted to discipline, character, integrity, consistency, courage, and focus. The stronger those qualities in you, the more success will come. You don't need to chase opportunity. You become someone who draws it. When you grow in skill, insight, clarity, presence, humility, and consistency, success becomes inevitable. Instead of asking, how can I get more? Ask, how can I grow more? Because the more you grow, the more success will follow you. When you stop chasing and start attracting, you send a different signal to the world. one that says, I'm ready, I'm confident, I'm valuable. This changes everything. People want to work with those who are grounded, trustworthy, and growing. So work on becoming that person. Success will follow. Be consistent. Show up every day. Stay humble. Stay teachable. Never stop growing. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. So let's focus on 4 principles to attract success. First, be valuable. Don't just take, give, solve problems, offer energy, insight, and encouragement. Become known for making things better. Second, be consistent. Anyone can show up once, but very few show up every day. Consistency builds trust with others and with yourself. Third, be teachable. Stay open and humble. Never think you've arrived. And lastly, be clear on your identity. Don't pretend or perform. Be genuine, strong, and intentional. The more aligned you are internally, the more powerful your external presence becomes. The key principle to remember: success is not something to chase externally. Success is something you become internally when you align your thoughts, habits, character, and mission. Success doesn't run from you, it runs to you, not overnight, but always on time. So instead of asking, how do I get more? Ask, how do I become more? Once you grow into the right kind of person, you'll never have to chase success again. It will recognize you and say, there you are. Now, let's talk about the price of growth. Growth requires sacrifice, but the sacrifices you make today are always less than the regrets you avoid tomorrow. Everything of value requires sacrifice. Want a stronger body? Sacrifice comfort. Want a stronger mind? Sacrifice time. Want financial freedom? Sacrifice short-term pleasure. Want personal growth? Sacrifice your excuses. There is no shortcut. Every step forward demands leaving something behind. This is great news because it means you have a choice. You get to decide what you'll trade, and if you trade wisely, the return is worth far more than what you gave up. Sacrifice doesn't mean suffering. It means investment. It means prioritizing growth over comfort. Comfort is easy to get into, but hard to get out of. While growth is difficult to begin with, but once you're in, it opens doors to a life you never thought possible. What are you willing to give up? Real change requires letting go of what no longer serves you. You can't have transformation while holding on to old habits, limiting beliefs, distractions, and toxic relationships. These things were made for who you were, not for who you're becoming. Yes, growth requires sacrifice, but that sacrifice is the price for stepping into a better version of yourself, and you are worth that price. You're always sacrificing for something. The question is, are you sacrificing comfort for growth, or are you sacrificing growth for comfort? Every choice you make today will determine the life you live tomorrow, so choose wisely. Sacrifice doesn't feel good right away, but it feels right in the long run. The alarm clock goes off early, but no one celebrates that. You walk away from distractions, but no one cheers for that either. That's okay. You don't need applause or validation. You need direction, and growth will give it to you if you're willing to pay the price. Whatever you give up to grow, you'll get back multiplied. Better health, stronger relationships, clearer vision, and more confidence. It's always worth it. Growth will cost you something, but not growing will cost you everything. Comfort feels good now, but growth feels good later and for a lot longer. Don't be afraid to let go of something small to reach for something greater. Step into your next chapter with intention, because sacrifice is the soil where transformation takes root. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the right environment, especially with the right people. Those who challenge you, push you, and help you grow. If you spend enough time around small thinking, you'll start shrinking. If you hang around people who make excuses, soon you'll be making them too. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, who talk solutions and value growth, integrity, and discipline, your standards will automatically rise. Growth is contagious. You don't have to cut people off for no reason, but you have to protect your potential. Your time is limited and your energy is valuable. Ask yourself, are the people around me building me up or breaking me down? Do they challenge me or comfort me in my stagnation? Your direction is influenced by your connections. So if you want to go higher, you must walk with people who aren't afraid of heights. They'll push you to be better, not just feel better. They'll celebrate your wins, not compete with them. You need three kinds of people in your life. First, someone ahead of you, a mentor, coach, or leader who shows you what's possible. Second, someone beside you, a peer, a fellow warrior, someone you push and check each other with. Third, someone behind you, a student or mentee you can guide. Teaching reinforces what you've learned and reminds you how far you've come. Growth happens when you're learning, collaborating, and leading all three. So ask yourself, if I keep walking with the people I'm walking with now, where will I end up in 5 years? Do they inspire me? Do they stretch me? Do they hold me accountable? Or do they pull me down into their comfort zone? Your future depends on the answer to that question. The stronger your vision becomes, the smaller your circle might get. That's not a problem, that's a filter. Growth is a sorting process. Not everyone can come with you, and that's okay. Your job isn't to drag people into your next chapter. Your job is to keep moving forward, and those who are meant to walk with you will catch up. The most important thing you can do is to make growth your identity. When growth becomes who you are, it's no longer something you have to chase, it's the foundation of everything you do. Growth is not a single event, it's a continuous journey that shapes who you become and how you show up in the world. When you embrace this mindset, you'll understand that setbacks aren't roadblocks, they're lessons. Failures aren't permanent, they're steps forward. Challenges aren't reasons to quit, they're opportunities to expand. So here's the final principle I want you to remember. Growth is not a destination, it's a lifestyle. You don't wait for the perfect moment to start. You don't wait for everything to be aligned. You start now and you grow in the process. You commit to it every day, and as you do, you'll build the kind of life that reflects your highest potential. Now, with that in mind, remember, every step forward is worth celebrating. Each moment of progress, no matter how small, is the victory. Keep walking, keep growing, and trust that everything you're building today will shape the tomorrow you've always dreamed of. Your life transforms permanently when you stop growing just for a reason and begin growing as a way of life. Growth isn't just about earning a promotion, it's about setting excellence as your standard. You don't grow simply to solve a problem, you grow because wisdom guides you. You don't grow to impress others, you grow because purpose fuels you, which is far from how we were conditioned to not feel great. You don't grow simply to solve a problem, you grow because purpose fuels you. It becomes automatic, expected, and non-negotiable. This isn't about ego, it's about evolution. Let me emphasize this. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Your job may change, your company may change, the world may change, but you take yourself into every season. If you're prepared and growing, you'll thrive anywhere. This is the kind of person who doesn't just survive success, but sustains it, multiplies it, and shares it. So here's the takeaway. Don't treat growth as a phase, make it your foundation. Let it guide your thoughts, shape your schedule, influence your relationships, and define how you lead, love, and live. You'll never regret becoming better. You'll never look back and wish you hadn't grown. You'll never outgrow your need for wisdom, strength, and truth. The more you grow, the more you'll attract everything that aligns with who you truly are, not because you chased it, but because you became ready for it. And when you look for ever-focused settings, you will see and implement more forward. So keep reading the books, asking the questions, building the habits, having the hard conversations, and showing up. Don't grow for a season, grow for a lifetime. Because when growth becomes a lifestyle, there's no limit to what you can build. This is just the beginning. Now go live it, grow first, and the goals will follow. If you want more, you have to become more. Success isn't something to chase, it's something you attract by becoming the person capable of achieving it. Let's bring everything together. In the last few chapters, we've discussed goals, habits, growth, sacrifice, momentum, and mindset. We've uncovered principles that can transform your life permanently, but it all boils down to this one truth. You don't get the life you want by chasing goals. You get the life you want by growing into the person who can live it. That's the real message. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. While the world tells you to set bigger goals, move faster, and push harder, I'll offer a different perspective. Start by growing. Begin with building your character, developing your discipline, raising your standards, upgrading your environment, investing in your mind, and protecting your time. Once you grow, everything else falls into place. Let's be honest, goals are important. They give direction, stretch your vision, and add urgency to your days. But goals without growth, they lead to frustration, burnout, short-term wins, and long-term emptiness. And that's why I say, don't just chase the goal, pursue the growth. When you grow, you attract the goal. You become the person who can handle it, and you build a lasting version of success. Here's what I know about you, because you've made it this far. You're not looking for surface-level success. You're not after hacks, hype, or shortcuts. You're building something deeper, something solid, something that lasts. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't just succeed from time to time, but lives successfully from the inside out.